lineup of titles on the PlayStation Vita is far from crowded, but we're seeing more AAA franchises steadily make their way onto the platform as the end of the year reaches a close. Though it comes from a distinguished pedigree, Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified is something of a gamble. Not only juxtaposed to release alongside the mammoth Black Ops 2, the game is under the guidance of developer Nihilistic Games, whose previous Vita effort Resistance Burning Skies was a disappointing venture for many. Couple that with little to no pre-release promotion to whet gamers' appetite and curiosity, the question has now become simple. Does Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified successfully take the console experience onto the handheld for the gamer on the go? Stick around to find out. The strange thing about Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified's campaign is that for all intents and purposes, it doesn't have one, per se. Players take the perspective of several returning characters from the first game, including Alex Mason and Frank Woods, and race against time to complete a series of operations, with an overarching story that ties the main Black Ops games together when all is said and done. This approach unfortunately makes the story feel woefully anemic, with no development of any kind to get you invested in an experience that comes across as though it's there to provide a basic context to the missions at hand. Enthusiastic fans of the canon will discern small details, but overall it's a slightly confusing choice to place it over the template of Spec Ops missions similar to those in the Modern Warfare series. A seasoned player can delve through the dozen or so missions in roughly 2 hours, with replay value on each mission coming in the form of harder difficulties that you can best to earn a higher star rating and better time on the leaderboards. Each mission you complete nets you campaign XP, which serves no other function than to increase your standing on the leaderboard and isn't transferable to the multiplayer. When you're done with the operations side of things, there are trials to complete where you go through training modules to earn a better clearing time, or a survival mode called Hostiles, where you last out against waves of enemies for as long as you can handle, refilling ammo and changing weapons in between rounds. All three modes are designed to cater to the gamer on the go, and in that respect they do a serviceable job, especially when turned up to veteran to challenge the very best of your skills. The franchise's flagship multiplayer suite debuts on the Vita with Declassified, and I'm proud to say that for the most part, it's a complete Call of Duty Online experience. You can create your custom classes with your weapons, attachments, perks and kill streaks of choice, and also share them with other players using the Near app. The usual bevy of challenges also make a welcome return to help you earn experience faster to rise through the ranks and unlock more equipment, and when it's all said and done, you have the option to prestige and go on from there. But that excitement is thrown away quickly by Nihilistic's insistence on compartmentalizing the whole experience. There are only 4 versus 4 matches, you can only party up in private games, and ad hoc matchmaking needs to be downloaded in a mandatory patch. 5 modes, including familiar favourites like Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirmed, pad out the playlists, and 6 moderately sized retweaks of past maps in the series play host to the chaos. What's cool about all of this is how it can genuinely feel like Call of Duty at times. From shooting down an enemy spy plane to earning a buzzkill against a rampaging enemy, and a solid performance, albeit for a few minor networking hiccups, help players feel at home in Declassified's multiplayer. It doesn't lash out for any redefining broad strokes like Black Ops 2, instead taking the barest foundations of the multiplayer experience and transforming them into a more suitable portable venture, even if it means making glaring omissions or downsizing aspects of the game. A lack of any co-op modes or even a zombies mode is a real downer. What's here feels bare bones because we're used to the wealth of options the series provides in its console iterations, but it's a swelling of content in comparison to multiplayer offerings on the Vita. Gameplay-wise, Declassified feels like Call of Duty. Its control scheme is solid, with weapons that feel weighty and pack a decent punch. The inclusion of Vita-centric features like touching the screen to guide grenades or using rear touch to hold your breath while sniping are a little forced, but their execution is subtle and does a good job to make them feel like necessary inclusions. Visually, Declassified is behind some other offerings on the Vita, but it's hard to mistake it as being anything other than Call of Duty, with its distinctive photorealistic approach succeeding on the Vita's hardware with ease, though flat textures and repetitive animations at times veer into lazy territory. The sound is great for the most part, save for a few hollow vehicle sounds, and the lack of a soundtrack in multiplayer matches is missed, but only a minor quibble. As far as portable experiences go, it's one of the sharpest offerings on the platform. There's a first time for everything, and Call of Duty's inaugural foray onto the Vita with Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified is for the most part a genuine success. Everything that's here feels instantly familiar, but many areas of potential are squandered with a lack of content that could have easily been included in a standalone game, instead of having to wait for any potential downloadable content. Minor bugs and a virtually non-existent campaign aside, the enjoyable Hostiles mode and the deepest multiplayer suite on the Vita dramatically extend the game's life in your machine. Let's just hope that this is the start of something special in the franchise and for the Vita itself, with future games to come.